So you've probably noticed a couple things different. I did get a new camera and a new microphone, so hopefully things will look and sound just a little bit better. So yeah, I'm back. It's been a hot minute. I think it was last time I recorded a video was probably about a month or maybe more ago. But yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of update on my life, how things are going, and let's get into it. Welcome to my channel. I'm Aaron Dusk, an indie author of two books, The Mark of Amuli and The Varcross Key. If you'd like to check those out, the links will be in the description below. Go to my website, read a few chapters. There's, samples available. See if my writing style vibes with you, if, that's what you're into. So, yeah, anyways, it's been a while, but I'm back. I have a new job, which, is great. It pays, a little bit more than what my last job did, which is rather nice. I don't have to don't have to be so worried about money right now. So, and the people that I work with are just, incredible. I'm really, really lucky to have found this particular job. It is a government job, so a little bit more security than what I had last time. Probably a lot more secure than any of the tech jobs I applied for over the months. I started on the 15th of October, and let's see, what is it? It's almost Thanksgiving now, so about a month and a half I've been working there, and everything's been going great so far. Unfortunately, with starting my new job and trying to get everything back on track again, I haven't really been keeping up with my writing quite as much as I'd like to. But of course, that's all changing now. I'm starting to get back into the habit of writing again. I'm going to get back into the habit of recording videos, get my YouTube channel kind of going again. Right now, it's just been sitting there doing nothing, but that'll change as well. I'd like to get a video up once a week or every 2 weeks. It depends on my schedule, since it is a full-time job, and writing is always going to come first before the channel does. So if I'm busy writing and I don't have time to make a video, then obviously I'm going to get my writing done first, and then if I have time later, I'll make a video, because I got to make the patrons happy. Well, it's not just the patrons, these are my supporters. So just actually recently had a poll, so I'm going to be starting on that story over Thanksgiving weekend, which it's a 4-day weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. A little bit of bad news though. I know that last time I had an update about my dog Jax. He's not doing very well, and I discussed it with the vet, and I wanted to have one more holiday with him. I think I discussed this last time as well. And then probably about January, I'm gonna get him put to sleep, which is, it's really sad. It's probably gonna wreck me for a little while, but it's, I'm looking at his quality of life right now, and it's just it's not getting any better. It's just getting worse. So all he does is just lay, he just sleeps all day. He just lays there. He's probably in pain. He has an open sore on his elbow, where he's laid down on the floor for a while. It used to be a blister, but then it became like an open wound. And because of the Cushing's, it suppresses the immune system a little bit, actually quite a bit. So he doesn't really heal as fast. So he's been on mega doses of antibiotics, and I've got him on, 2 rounds of painkillers. Whenever I'm leaving the house, I have to put diapers on him, which is not, it's not an ideal situation to be in, because he can't control his bladder. He drinks a whole lot. Cushing's makes you drink a lot. It makes you gain weight. It makes you pee a lot. So whenever I leave the house, I have to make sure to put the diapers on him, otherwise I'll come back to a flooded house. Yeah, that's causing some issues as well, because he's got very thin skin, and even though I change the diapers immediately when I come home, but there's still urine burns and stuff like that too. So it's not an ideal situation for him to live in, and I don't want to keep seeing him suffer like that, and I can't keep living like this as well. My whole life has just been about cleaning up pee. The vet said that I was basically on hospice care for my dog. So yeah, that's going to be a sad thing. Hopefully I'll get over that quickly. what I'm worried about the most is Mila, because they've been litter mates and together all their lives. So when he goes, I don't know how she's going to take it. So I'm just going to be spending so much time with her, but I still have to leave her alone for, 9 hours a day and then come back home. So she's going to be alone all by herself for 9 hours a day with no brother and no me. And that's going to be kind of rough on her. And I don't want to get another dog after Jax goes. I don't want any more dogs, especially after Mila goes. I think I'm done with pets. And I said that last time, but I'm getting to the age now where I just don't want, and I don't want to take care of any more pets. And I don't want to have to keep worrying about pets either, because I do live by myself, and I live, and I drive. It's about 40 minutes, sometimes an hour away, depending on the weather. So I'm always worrying about my dogs at home. Like, what if I get into an accident? What if I get sick? Who's going to take care of them? And then, whenever I want to go hiking, maybe I want to go camping, or I want to go on like a multi-day hike or something like that. I can't really do that with these dogs. Now, some people can do it with dogs, not these dogs. They're homebodies. Jax is sick, and Mila really does not like going outside. So once she's gone, hopefully I have a while with her yet. She's just very fat, and I've got to get her to lose weight somehow. So I think right now the reason she's so fat is because even though I've separated their food and I only feed them once a day, she will sneak by me and then start eating his food. She knows she's not supposed to, but she'll start sneaking his food, and I'll catch her occasionally, but sometimes it'll be too late. She'll eat like half of his food before Jax finishes it. So the holidays are coming up, and this is a little bit off topic. It's not really about my life or anything, but it's just sort of something I've noticed lately. It's kind of a sad trend, and it kind of pisses me off too, because for me, especially once you start getting older, your mid to late 30s, 40s, 50s, that sort of thing, you start to lose family members. And I don't know how many of you out there, probably there's a lot of you that are my age or pretty close to my age. If you still have both parents, if you still have all your siblings, some of you may even be lucky enough to still have your grandparents. But for many of us, we've lost a lot of family over the years, and I would give anything to, have my mother back for the holidays, because she was really big into the holidays. She always tried to make it special. Even when we didn't have any money at all, she would always find a way to make Christmas, the best time of the year for her kids. And she always had these traditions that we would follow. And one of them was, she would always make us watch It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas, or one of the many, many, many different Scrooges she had, or Christmas Carol stories that she had. So that was something that we really hated when we were younger, but it's something that we remembered. And even to this day, I'll still watch It's a Wonderful Life on either Christmas or New Year's, one of the two, just as a traditional, homage to her. In fact, one of my stories, which was When Life Gives You Werewolves, was kind of loosely based off of It's a Wonderful Life in a way. So if you haven't read that and you like my writing style, you'll probably like When Life Gives You Werewolves. It's kind of rough. It's in the first draft. So if you don't mind reading rough drafts, then it's on my website. You can read it for free. But what I was getting at before was this past election has been very, very divisive, to say, that's putting it very mildly. And there's a lot of fear mongering going on, a lot of misinformation, a lot of media trying to retain its audience by scaring the ever-living shit out of their viewers. And this happens, it doesn't just happen on one side or another. You see it happening all the time. I believe it was when Obama was elected, for example. I remember Fox News and the right-wing media saying how, he would open up FEMA camps and force conservatives to. It was the most bizarre shit I've ever seen in my life. Now, there is some credibility to, some of the fears that have been going on with Trump, such as, Project 2025. How true that is, how much of that would actually go through. I mean, some of it is going to go through because some of it makes sense. But a lot of it is just so off the wall right wing that I don't think that it would pass a congressional hearing at all. And also remember that cabinet picks have to be approved by Congress. So chances are he's not going to be able to have everybody in his cabinet. So yeah, I've had friends, or I've even had people on my Discord, straight up leave the server because I basically told them to, stop being hysterical about this stuff. You can't do anything about it anyways. I mean, the votes have been tallied. He did win the majority of the votes. He won. The Republicans pretty much sweeped the entire government. They have the executive, even the judicial, because they're supposed to be non-partial, but we all know that the judicial branch is pretty partisan in what they do. And then, of course, Congress, both the House and the Senate, have all flipped red. So and this is, scaring a lot of people who are more on the left side, but you got to remember, nobody has a supermajority in Congress. So there is no supermajority in the Senate. They're still probably going to get absolutely nothing accomplished. So, I mean, take that as you will, but remember that we're all different in how we voted and how and what our political views are. And just because somebody is on the right or the left doesn't mean that they are all of a sudden just terrible people, fascists, Nazis, communists, whatever. I mean, granted, there are people out there like that, but these you can't just label someone based on what side of the political spectrum they are on. And you also probably don't want to cut off family during the holidays. And this goes back to what I originally wanted to talk about. Was there was a psychologist or whatever on I think it was CNN recently, and she was talking about how it's not only okay but recommended that you cut off family for the holidays if you I guess don't feel, I don't know. Safe is not really the right word for this, because I mean they're your family. I mean, unless you grew up in an abusive household, then you're probably not spending Thanksgiving with these people anyways. But you got to remember that just because your family members disagree with you politically doesn't mean that they don't love you, or that they still don't know what they still don't, that they don't want what's best for you. It's just what's best for you in their mind might be different from what's best for you in your mind. You got to remember, you're adults and you're going to have your own opinions and your own political beliefs and your own religious beliefs and your own values and morals. You may have gotten a lot of it from your parents, but ultimately it's up to us to decide, what we want to take and what we want to leave behind. That shouldn't, and you got to remember, we've got a finite amount of time on this planet, and just because a family member voted for Trump or voted for Harris or voted, I don't know, third party or didn't vote at all, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's recommended to just cut off family because of that. Because, I mean, anything can happen. Anything can happen. And I've learned that firsthand. I've lost a lot of family members. I lost my mother back in 2014. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years already. I lost my uncle probably about 6 months after that. I lost, my other uncle to suicide. Probably can't say that on YouTube, but I don't really give a shit. I lost my grandparents. I lost like one of my grandparents recently, I say recently, it was probably about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. It was right before the pandemic happened. Yeah, I mean, all of these people, that were once a part of our family that we would all get together and have the holidays together. There's a big void. There's no longer these people anymore. They're all gone. And it's just basically me and my brother and my nephew and my sister-in-law and my father. And my father's getting up there. He's 74 years old. He's probably got, and he's got a lot of illnesses. He's got diabetes, he's got high blood pressure, he's got heart failure, but it's controlled. So I don't really know how much longer he's got. And unfortunately, being 2,000 miles away from everybody that I know, all of my friends and family, it's really hard for me to see them. And I'm not going to be able to visit or see any of my family this year, and I would really love to, but I can't board Jax, and I don't want to put him to sleep until after the holidays. So, and Mila is not really much of a kennel dog, so I would have to take her with me, and I can't take Jax across the country to go back to Florida, and I don't want to fly with them either. I don't trust airplanes handling pets at all. So this year I'm not going to get to spend the holidays with my family, and they can't come up here because my brother is in the process of changing jobs himself. So money's kind of tight with them, even though I offered to help pay for it. They've already planned to have the holidays at home. They don't really want to go anywhere. So yeah, I'm going to be spending it by myself pretty much. And for those of you that are choosing to spend the holidays by yourself because of political differences or something stupid like that, there are people out there that would really love to spend time with their parents or with their siblings or anybody, and they can't. And I'm one of those people, and I would give anything to just be able to call my mother on the phone and say Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving or Happy Birthday or anything, but I can't do that anymore because she's gone and she's not coming back. And so take that as you will. Many of you are probably going to be really pissy for a while, really angry at your family for voting the way that they did, but you're really just giving politicians so much power over you, and they already have so much control over our lives, and they've pretty much ruined this country and our lives so much as it is, and now you're letting them divide us even further at the family level. And yeah, that's a problem. So try not to do that. Just, I would say, talk to your family, especially if you're still on good terms with your family, for example, but the election kind of drove a rift between your family and you. But most of the time you've always had your differences, and you always loved each other. Maybe try to just communicate with one another and don't let this completely ruin your life, because that's exactly what it'll do. If you lose one or both parents in the coming year, the last thing that you'll have said to them is, I don't know, I hate you, or just saying I never want to speak to you again because of the way that you voted. And it's just such a tragedy when you think about it. And friends are one thing. Obviously friends come and go. I know that firsthand. I'm not really attached to friends because friends are wishy-washy. They come and go, and you can do anything to piss them off or them piss you off, and it doesn't really matter because they're not family. You didn't grow up with them. Some friends you've probably grown up with since high school or from middle school. I don't really have anybody that I'm really close with from that time, and I don't really have any close friends right now either. So, but I am close with my family, and I do love, my brother and I sit on opposite ends of the spectrum politically, especially with our morals. He's more conservative, very Christian, very religious. I'm more middle of the road. I tend to lean a little bit more conservative, but I have a lot of social liberal views, and I tend to be a lot more moderate. I'm also not religious at all, obviously. At the same time, I'm not going to, just because my brother sits on, completely polar opposite of me, that we don't love each other, that we don't say we love each other every time we're on the phone. We talk to each other all the time. Sometimes we'll get into arguments. Sometimes we'll disagree with things, but you know what? You can do that and still not cut your family off. And you can still have a heated argument and still say I love you at the end of the conversation. But I think that we've gotten so polarized as a country, and we've gotten so polarized in our views and so extreme in our in our political spectrum, and our even just in our morals. We've gotten so extreme that we can no longer see our family as people anymore. We just see them as expendable, as people we can just cut off over something so stupid. And you might disagree. You might say, "Oh, but my rights." Well, no rights have been taken away yet. So just chill just chill the fuck out, because nothing has been done yet. The guy is not even in office yet. You're basically destroying your holiday and destroying your family and destroying your relationship over a guy, over a man in the highest seat of power right now in Washington. And you're letting that someone who doesn't even know you exist, okay, doesn't give a shit about you, doesn't know you exist, you're letting that guy have all the power, and you're letting that guy destroy your family and your life, and it's your fault. You're the one giving him that power right now. So that's just something that I've had on my chest for a while, and something that I've seen a lot lately after this election. And it's really something that I really, it's really something that hits home to me. You can say whatever you want, right or left, policies, whatever, I don't give a shit. But when it comes to family, and when it comes to like the people that you love and that you talk to, or that you did talk to on a daily basis, to just cut them out because of all of this, that's not a good look, and it's certainly not a healthy way to live. And it's not going to do anything good for you. It's not going to do anything good for them. You're going to probably regret it, and there's going to be a lot of regret out there right now, because a lot of people are angry, and a lot of people have just said that they're going to cut people off. But remember, that circle of friends that you've surrounded yourself with, or that bubble that you have, one day it's going to pop, and one day those friends are not going to be there anymore, or those people that you surround yourself with all the time may have even different views from what you do now. And then what then? So it's kind of almost cult-like mentality. You've just cut off everybody that you know to be around these people, but these people don't really love you. They don't really like you. They just have the same views that you do, and they kind of virtue signal that they like you, but they don't. They're not your family. They're not your close friends. So just remember that in this holiday season, and I will wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving, because I don't know if I will post a video before Thanksgiving. I'm going to be very busy this week, but I'll try to get another video out the week after, and it'll be something on topic, something that's actually, I don't know, it might be something about books, it might be something about life. Still don't know where I want to take this YouTube channel, honestly, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've got new equipment now, so I need to make good use of it, and I will see you guys next time.